Disclaimer: it's only for imagination, so don't take it seriously and hate. Thank you. When Kim, the obedient daughter of a respected businessman, was being dressed like a bridal against her will. Her family's business had fallen into debt, and the only man willing to save it was Jang Jungkook, a cold, arrogant billionaire known for his ruthless business deal and sharp tongue. Everyone whispered about him. Some called him a devil in a shirtless suit, others a man who never smiled, never cared, and now you were about to become his wife. You stood before the altar, hands trembling as the brightest world echoing in the grand hall. Jungkook stood beside you, tall, broad-shouldered, his jawline sharp as a blade, his black suit fitting him perfectly. He didn't even glance your way. Your parents sat quietly, your mother's eyes glittering with regret, while your father looked down in guilt. You whispered barely, "When I don't want this." Jungkook's lip curved into a dry smirk. "Jungkook, neither I do, a sweetheart. But let's not make a sense. You're mine now, whether you like it or not." Your heart sank. That was the beginning of your story. The night your freedom was signed away with a ring. Later that night, the mansion felt suffocating. Every corner whispered power and loneliness. You sat on the edge of the massive bed, fingers clutching the hem of your silk gown. Jungkook stood by the window, losing his tie, and faint scent of his college mixed in the cold air. He turned to you, his tone sharp and taunting. "You look scared, Mrs. Jun." You stood up. You looked up, trying to sound steady. "When I didn't ask for this, either of us did." Jungkook, "You should have told your father that before he begged me to marry you." Tears yelled in your ears, anger, shame, helplessness, everything missed inside. You stood about to speak again when suddenly you froze. A sharp pain hit your stomach, and you realized, oh no. You rushed to the washroom, Jungkook, for confused until you came out a moment later, pale, embarrassed. The air grew heavy. Jungkook stared at you for a few seconds before sighing and running a hand through his hair. Jungkook, "Perfect. My wife played before our wedding night even began." He muttered sarcastically, but his tone wasn't as sharp as before. You turned away, humiliated. But then, instead of anger and disgust, he surprised you. He walked to the closet, took out a soft blanket, and dropped it beside you. "Jungkook, you can take the bed. I will use the couch." "When? Why? Why are you being nice?" "Don't misunderstand. I don't want blood on my sheets." Yet later that night, when cramps hit hard and you tried to suppress your pain, you hear his voice again, softer this time. "Does it hurt that much?" You didn't answer, but a moment later a hot water bag appeared beside you, and Jungkook turned away again, pretending it wasn't him. You remember the afternoon, the day everything settled. Your father had knelt before Jungkook's grand office. "Please, Jungkook, see, if you marry my daughter, our companies can merge. It will save us." You had burned it, horrified. When you can't do this, I'm not some business deal. Your mother had tried to console you, but tears started down her cheeks. When it's just for survival, you will learn to live with him. Jungkook, sitting beside his desk, watching silently before standing up, his tone lensed with bitterness. Don't expect me to love her. This is just a contract. You had looked into his eyes, dark, unreadable, and said with trembled lips, then I will love you. I will never love you either. And yet here you were now, wearing his ring. Jungkook, if the numbers don't match by noon, fire them all. I don't need excuses, I need result. His coldness sent a chill through you. This was the man you had married, a billionaire who didn't hesitate to destroy anyone in his way. Yet, when his eyes met yours just a second, something changed. His voice softened. Breakfast is on the table. When you met this, he didn't answer, just turned away, sweeping his black coffee. But you noticed the streaming poured the glass of warm milk, things that didn't quite fit his image of arrogance and indifference. He sat quietly, spooning a bite of the period. When his voice broke the silence again, you should see a doctor if the pain continues. You looked up, stern. When you remembered, Jungkook, I forget numbers, don't details. A small awkward silence followed, not hostile, just unfamiliar. You didn't know how to reply, so you muttered a soft thank you. Jungkook, don't. I didn't do it for you. I just don't want you fetting in my house. You bit your lips, nodding, still your heart fluttering, confused between resentment and something dangerously close to warmth. You walked through the hallway, exploring the mansion that house technically belonged to you, though it doesn't feel like it. The walls full of photographs of business event awards and articles about Jungkook, John Empire Singh as CEO, but none had a smile, not one. Jungkook, yes, Mr. Kim. The March contract is done, but let me make one thing clear. I didn't marry your daughter for your benefit. Don't expect her to manipulate me in your behalf. You froze. Your father, he was on the other end. If she tried that even once, I will end your company myself. You just tried, so he knew. He knew the truth about why this marriage happened. When he turned, he caught you standing there, his voice darkened. Jungkook, you were listening? When I didn't mean to. I just hear my father's name. Jungkook, of course you did. Must be waiting for his next instruction, right? How to act sweet to me, how to gain my trust. When that's not true, Jungkook, then prove it. Don't contract them, not even once. You followed hard, tears filling your eyes. When they are my family, Jungkook. Jungkook, family. They sold you to save their business. That's not family, that's a construction. Transactions. The truth hurt more than you wanted to admit. You were turned away, voice trembling. At least they care enough to beg for help. You don't care for anyone. His jaw tightened for a moment. You thought he'd do last thought, but instead he inhaled deeply and turned his back to you. You were right, I don't. And then he left, his footsteps echoing down the marble corridor. You cried silently that night, clutching the edge of your pillow, trying to bury your soul in it. You hated him for being cruel. You hated yourself for caring. But what you didn't know, what you couldn't see, was Jungkook standing outside your door for a long time that night, staring at the doorknob like he was fighting himself. He never knocked. He just whispered under his breath, I told you not to cry for them, and walk away.